Okay, so we have the LG Thrill 4G, aka the Optos 3D.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk a little bit about the 3D technology in the device itself. As you can see, it looks actually pretty clear on here. And what we've done, this is a lot of technology that's gone into the design of the device itself to kind of give you a true 3D experience on the device. So obviously we're going to be using parallax barrier technology, which is glasses-free 3D on the device itself. It does record in 720p for your own videos for 3D. You can record in 2D, and that's going to be in 1080p. And obviously pictures can be shot in 3D or 2D as well. The great thing about that is you can actually take one image, let's say in 3D if you're shooting a picture, and then you can simply slide and convert that into 2D, so you don't have to take multiple different pictures if you want to do 3D. Now one thing that kind of comes to mind, and I'm actually going to flip this around real quick so you can see the back, is the distance between the cameras themselves. If you notice on other devices out there, the distance is going to be different. What we've done is we've put a lot of research into the distance between there, and what we said is the optimal distance is 2.4 centimeters. And then what that means is that's going to be the optimal viewing angle to give you the best experience. Also, the device itself will self-adjust every single time you get out of 3D, so it's going to automatically readjust it itself. Cool. So what that's going to do is, from a hardware perspective, give you a true 3D feel of the device itself.
And you can't see it in the video here, but for us looking at it, and I've seen this phone several times now, and it actually works surprisingly well. I believe is how I described it the first time I saw it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's a really cool experience. And then again, this works in gaming as well. We're going to jump out of the menu here, and we're going to go into games. I'm going to take a step back here. We're going to go in.
This is a menu because this is something I think that this phone has done extremely well. It's bringing all the 3D content to one place, so you're not hunting around for it.
Absolutely, and that's a great point that you bring out. If you notice, we've got a 3D space key that's located on the top. So your typical user experience when you're into Android is going to be in 2D. When you want to get in 3D, you just automatically hit that 3D space key and it takes you into 3D. So all your menus will be in 3D, as well as your applications, your movies, your videos, and so forth like that. Now, one thing from the content that I know is really important, everybody wants to look at 3D games. Gameloft is actually making a ton of games right now. They definitely have support for that. I think we've got Spider-Man coming up. There's a new version of Nova coming up. But if you look on the device itself, we're going to be preloaded with a lot of really cool 3D content. So we've got Asphalt 6 on there. We've got Nova, Let's Golf. We're also going to put a couple of movies on there. There's like a little golf for troubles, and then you can also put your own 3D movies on there. It's actually a pretty cool experience. And you pretty much, like I said, it's kind of difficult to kind of see it because you're recording in 3D. But once you start playing that, especially Nova, it's actually a really, really cool experience to be able to play those and play those games back in 3D.
A little slow to load. There
we go. There we go. I think it's loading a preview. All right. Because I know this one's loading up here. You do a trailer real quick. It's a little bit easier. Kind of get an idea of what this looks like.
And I think something else that's surprising to people is that the graphics are all fast and smooth despite it being 3D, so it's not like you're pushing 3 times as many pixels or anything. It's the way it's being brought to your eye that's really different.
Absolutely, and a part about that is a lot of it is the architecture. It's kind of how you build the product. So if you look at the device itself, it's a dual-core 1 gigahertz processor. We're using the Texas OMAT 4430, and the reason we've chosen to do that is just because of that 3D rendering on there. It's going to give you a true smooth experience. Now, one thing that does make this thing stand out is not only is it dual core, it's dual channel and dual memory. So what that means is each processor, each core, can access those memory modules simultaneously, as well as the multimedia processor, which is the PowerVR chipset that we've got on there as well. So what that's going to do is it's going to give you a true gaming experience, movie experience, and even a using experience. And it's actually going to be the fastest handset in existence when it lets launch.
I know you guys hate for me to say it, but I mean, even though you're only looking at a 2D here for everybody watching this video, I mean, you can see just how smooth it is, and almost to the point where if you don't like the 3D, it's still an awesome phone. Actually,
and you know what? That's a great point. So even if we jump out of this fun content here and go back to the main screen, it's still going to be a great super phone for you as well. So even though the 3D content I think is really cool, it definitely has a lot of capabilities of it, still, the fact that itself, with that dual core, that, tri-configuration, it's actually going to be a very powerful, solid handset for you as well.
So it's an AT&T phone, telenav's on there, I assume. Any other AT&T specific software?
Absolutely. They've got it completely loaded up with all their AT&T applications on the device itself, as well as some stuff that we preloaded. It's going to be launching with Android 2.2 or the Froyo software. It will be available to update to Gingerbread this year, or 2.3. We've also put a little little bit of a UI on there. It's not very, very heavy. It's very, very light. Pretty much pinch zoom, so if I'm in my applications here, I can create folders. This also works in your contacts. It'll work in your calendar. It'll work in other apps such as your email. You'll be able to configure those with pinch zoom as well.
Cool. Now, I mean, it's a decent sized phone. I hate to bring up a competitor, but I'm going
fine,
to because these are very similar in size. So the Thrill is actually a tiny bit taller there, right? They're just about the same in thickness. That's the Thunderbolt.
Oh,
if you don't know, anybody. My poor scratch Thunderbolt. Cool. Very, very neat. And this is coming out this month, right?
It'll actually be out very soon.
Very soon.
Yeah.